Hey everyone, and welcome to IG8Live Esports. We're live with PGL F1 Wednesday Division this evening for round 9 of 21 for the Dutch Grand Prix. And getting started, just got Racer Avocado in, so that's a full grid of 20 drivers there right now. Should be quite an exciting race. Let's see, into qualifying 1, starting off for 18 minutes already. We got a few drivers getting out on track. I'm going to get a few stats back on screen so we can see exactly what's happening here. So quite an interesting track, one of the new ones that was added when the game first came out. It's going to be interesting to see how everyone handles here. Still, even though it's been months after a practice on the track, I know some drivers still have a bit of a difficult time driving here as well. So I think everyone's running currently on softs. We'll see how the strategy works out, because I think they're going to just try as much as they can just to get a good lap in, just to make it over to qualifying 2, which is basically what the main aim of this session is going to be, at least for our top 15 drivers. It's good to see a full grid of 20, so hopefully we have everyone making through qualifying 1 without a DNF on this session here. Quite an interesting grid as well. I know we got a few new names on the grid there as well. We'll have a look at that in just a bit as we continue on through the session. So majority of the names we should be familiar with, as we have. I think Roy getting started on his hot lap already. It was quite quick on him. It's really not too much of a long lap around Netherlands. So just about, I think, just over a minute per lap. So it should be a pretty fast lap in terms of getting a good qualifying lap in, and they should be able to have a little more time maybe to spare in the session, just to do maybe one extra lap depending on how session is going for them. So let's see on board right now with Rourke as he continues on with his lap. So let's see if he's able to finish and possibly get the first lap time in. Might be the first guy to set a time, not sure. Tang seems to be disconnected for some reason. Hopefully he gets back on before the end of Q1 to make sure he can get a lap time in, but he's also already disqualified for some reason. Not sure what that reason is as yet. Let's see if we can have a look on what exactly happened with that. And parked in a dangerous location on track for some reason. Not even sure how he did that, but unfortunate for him. So he's going to be disqualified from Q1 already. That means he's going to be starting down there in 20th on the grid. Unfortunately for him. Maybe that was the plan, I'm not sure, but we'll see how well that goes for him. So currently still following on Rourke, about to go across the line. That's a 109.331. Not too bad of a time. Might actually hold up pretty well. So let's see Greg there as well. Let's see on the overhead view with him as he gets through, I think through sector 3 there right now. He's going through. Let's see where he finishes. I think a few more drivers on their lap at the moment. And we'll start to see just a few more times come in as session goes on through. Still about 14.5 minutes. So a lot of time left. Oh, and that's an invalidated lap. I think he went too much in the curb on the left hand side. And he's going to have to get back into the pits and try that again. Savdar here in the Ferrari on the next lap as well. He's about to finish this one as he gets around the final turn here. So let's see where he goes on the grid. And quite an interesting turn that final one is, and a bit of an angle. So you have to be a bit careful as they get around. And a few times in so far. So Rourke still holds on to fastest lap in Q1 with his 109.3. Tree Slayer now into second there with a 109.412. Just about 1/10 off. And stopped another 2/10 behind in P3. And Haywood with a 110.2. First 110 in the session. And Jose there with a 113. So let's see how the rest of the grid gets through, because I think Jonesy is on a lap here at the moment. So he's going back into the pits. So it didn't go as well for him as he expected. The Racer Avocado might be on a lap in sector 1 as he gets through here right now. So let's see if he's able to get a good lap in. So a few drivers having a bit of a difficult time through Q1 at the moment, just trying to avoid invalidated laps as much as they can, which is a bit hard to avoid around here sometimes with the way this track is. A bit tricky to get around some of these turns, especially with not too long of straights, too much straights available. I think the only straight that's really available on the track is down the pit straight that we have going down into turn 1. So gonna be an interesting race start as well as we get through turn 1, because really not overly much of a long run to get there. So we're gonna have maybe a few cars get a bit bunched up with a bit of a late braking and early braking. So definitely we'll have some contact into the opening lap. But we'll see how it goes through the rest of qualifying for it to see how a starting grid is gonna look. I know a few drivers are going to wait till a further away into the session before they actually get out on track here to make a lap time. Maybe just wait for the track to get a little bit rubbered in, maybe. So that is currently Racer Avocado up into P4 there right now with his time 109.6. Let's see how well it's going to hold up with the rest of the grid. I think Liam might be on a lap. And definitely so gets into sector 3, so let's see how that continues on for him. But so far so good with the grid as it goes. And as we can see, he did invalidate that lap there. So quite a few of that happening throughout the session. Ethan here going through sector 2 right now. Let's see the next Ferrari driver. Let's see if he's able to get a good lap in and possibly keep that car maybe into the 109s or maybe a 110, depending on how well this lap is actually going for him here right now. I think we're going to find a few drivers having some trouble in this qualifying session just to get their quality lap in, just because of the way the track is. It's very difficult with the way they're pushing on track to avoid having an invalidated lap right about now. And they do need to get actually a fast lap in before the session comes to a close, because only top 15 drivers are going to be making it over to qualifying 2, and that's P5 for him so far. Still made it into the 109 and 19.96. It's not too bad with the time. Probably will hold up at least to push him through over to Q2. But I think he might get back on track, maybe to try and get a next lap in if possible. We got, let's see, we got Jose and Irish both on out laps here right now. So we'll see where they go when they get started with that hot lap in just a bit. Still following Army Gremlin, trying another lap here at the moment. So let's see if this lap is going any better for him. And does a purple sector 2 so far. So on for a pretty good lap. I'm not sure if he had a purple sector 1 or not. But if he can finish sector 3, maybe on a good note, probably will be able to push himself up into the top 4 at least for now. Maybe getting himself into a 109. Tree Slayer currently holds on to fastest lap in the session with his 109.181, 2 tenths faster than Rugg. So a pretty good lap off of him so far. That's Gremlin up to P5. Did get into the 109.7, not too bad at all. I think we got Irish on a lap here as well. I think that was a Mercedes. I'm going to back try and get out of the way. So let's see where Irish is going to go when he finishes off. Usually does get himself at least all the way up through Q3. So expecting a good lap from him. Let's see if he can put it probably in the top 5 or top 4 for now at least, and maybe keep that car going through. But so far so good, because a purple sector 1 just came off of him with that current lap that he's running. So maybe he might get it into a purple sector 2 as well. We'll see about that in just a bit. Sector 2 does seem to be pretty short on this track. Sector 1 seems to be a bit longer as it is. So let's see how the rest of the oh, and that is a purple sector 2, so he's going pretty well so far. He just needs to avoid invalidating the lap through sector 3, and will probably get a top 3 finish on this one here. Maybe we'll have a look when that goes, just to get around the final turn here right now, which is always a little bit tricky getting wrong if you lose that rear end around there. Let's see, he goes across the line and goes into second place so far. So 109.296, not too bad. Just about 1/10 off of what Tree Slayer did. So starting to get a bit competitive with our lap times out in front. A lot of 109s on the track at the moment. And I think, let's see who else is running here. Trying to follow on to see if Liam is on. Yeah, he definitely is doing another lap at the moment. And looks like it's just gone for, yeah, it is Liam and Walker as teammates on this one. And Walker is about to get started with his lap right now. So probably going to stay on board with him as he goes through the lap. So as we see in turn 1, it's a bit tight around here. Cars are going to try to push it on the inside, and some are going to have to go a bit wide on the outside. It's going to be a bit difficult as we get through opening lap, but we'll see how the guys get through that, because a lot of braking and then getting back on the power as fast as they can to get through. And hello Games for Life, how are you doing? I see Beefy has not gotten out on track as yet. Usually waits a bit down to the end of the session, as does Walker there, and a few other drivers, Mr. Rage being included in that. So that's a purple sector off of Walker there right now. Oh, and goes a bit wide on that. He might have messed that lap up there, but he's definitely is going to have to just try that again, because he lost quite a few tenths by getting off track on that account there. So not going to be able to finish that lap and get it up there. Bradfield here on a good lap. Might be, let's see, as he's getting through sector 1 here still right now. Let's have the overhead view on this track here as he gets around in the Williams here right now. So he's definitely seems to be running a pretty good lap. I think him and Irish are teammates on this one here. I think they're both running in the Williams. Yep, definitely sure about that. I know Bradfield usually gets some good lap times in as well. So let's see if he's able to finish this one and maybe get it into the top 5. I don't think he had a purple sector 1, but might be able to get a purple sector 2 if he pushes right through. But nope, unfortunately not. So let's see how this lap actually is going for him. So far, it doesn't seem like it's going to be a really good lap. He's getting wrong here right now. Let's have a look as he gets across the line though, but might still make an interesting time. Might make it a 110 or a 109 still. Actually, does still make it a 109, a 109.688. That puts him up in the P6 for now in this session, but we got quite a few 109.6, so gonna be quite interesting to see how close our lap times are going to be on the at least top 10 drivers are going to have, with at least top 10 so far into the 109s as we have them. I don't get it. So Creole watching. What does that mean? I think Salvador is an outlap. I think he just probably pulled across the track just to allow someone by. I think he's waiting for a clear track to get started on a lap. Probably is what he's doing there right now. Let's have a look and see. Who else is running a lap here right now? He's Ethan on another lap, trying to have a look at the moment. I think he's on another lap going through. And we got just about 6 minutes left in this qualifying session right now, guys. Remember, on qualifying one only, we got still about another 45 minutes of qualifying to go with Q2 and Q3 as it is. So we still have to finish off this session, see where these guys are going to stand. But so far, it's looking pretty good out front with top 10 all in the 109. So very competitive with those guys there. And that's why I say it's definitely going to be an interesting race. We're going to see how many drivers are able to get into the 108s by the time we get down to Q3. Because with Prix running at 109.022, he's getting very close off of getting there. Irish now at a 109.296. So not too far off of each other. So we'll see how well everyone gets through. No, Q2 is going to be not so much with the fastest lap times in, but they're just going to be trying to get a good time in a still test to work with a race strategy that they want to put into this race. We'll see how it goes. I think conditions to the race might be a dry race. I'm not sure as yet. I'll have to check the Discord to see if anyone posted anything about the race conditions that this is going to be on track. If anyone on the stream, please let me know what the condition is for the race, if it's going to be wet at any point or not. But it seems like it might just end up being a dry race. You see Cars here on an outlap as well. I think him and Roik are teammates on this. I'm just trying to watch teammates to see what they're at here right now. Beefy and Mr. Raid still into the pits. And as we said, Tang has been disqualified from the session just because he was apparently parked in a dangerous spot on track. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Let's see who else currently is still on a hot lap going through. Savdar might be on another lap, and definitely so. I was trying to see what I think Racer Avocado driving a Alfa Romeo, so Ferrari for Ethan and Savdar so far. So putting it 4th and 5th on the grid, not too bad at the moment as it is. Q1 coming to an end very soon, so I'm just watching to see who else is still left to do a lap here. Still, we got Beefy and Mr. Rage not getting out on track as yet. And Kaz getting started with his hot lap, so let's see if he's able to make it anywhere close to where his teammate is up there in P3 at the moment on the grid, at least to get over into qualifying 2. So far Walker did not get a pretty good time with his lap, and I think he just got a better one. Went up to the P6 right now at a 109.594. As you can see, those lap times are getting very close off between the guys down in the middle of the grid, at least as it is, with the 109.6. And we'll see how it holds up, because they're still in a pretty good spot on the grid just to get over to qualifying 2 here. I think in a very dangerous spot right now is we got Jose, we got Kaz, Beefy, and Mr. Rage. And I know Beefy and Mr. Rage are going to get out on their laps pretty soon. We obviously see Beefy getting out on track right now. Let's see where he is. I think he's on his out lap going through in the Haas. Mr. Rage still into the pits. He's not getting out right now. Might not. I'm not sure if he will, or if he plans to start from the back of the grid as well. We'll see how that goes for him. But either way, I think he'll probably still gain quite a few positions at the race start, as he's used to doing that. Alright, so Beefy getting started on his lap right now. Let's see if he's able to finish into the top 5 before the session comes to an end, because I think he's definitely just going to have about 2 chances to get a lap here, and he's going to have to be on the same set of tires as he's running on, which really won't matter too much to him. If he does have to see, he does have to actually be a bit careful to avoid an invalidated lap, as it is here right now. Tree Slayer already retired off the session. Irish out, Ethan out already. I think Roy might be trying to get another lap in. We'll see about that in just a bit. But so far, Tree Slayer holding on to the fastest lap in the session at 109.022. And I think that definitely will, it's going to carry him over to Q2. So I don't think he really cares if anyone gets a faster time at this point. So still a few drivers about to get knocked off of the next session. We'll see how that goes through. Still following on Beefy to see Mr. Ray not getting out of the pit still, so might not be getting out at all for the session. I know he did join on a bit late, so maybe his plan is to just start at the back and try to see how much position he can gain, probably to get driver of the day in the session. We'll see how it goes, but Beefy getting around the final turn here right now to get across the line, and hopefully for him he might be able to get a pretty good time in. Does seem to like it's going to be a 109. Actually a 109.935, puts him into 11 for now. Not too bad of a place at this point in the session, as it is a minute and 30 seconds to go here right now. I see a few drivers getting back on outlaps, trying to get a better time in if they can. Trying to have a look if Rourke is trying to get a next lap in to probably beat Tree Slayer's time, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that there. Doesn't seem to be moving fast enough on this one for that, but let's see if he's going to finish that lap or not. See if Haywood is trying for another lap as well. Might be trying. Oh, and not having a good go at this one, so definitely not going to make a faster lap on this one here. And just about 40 to 42 seconds left in the session. I think that's going to be it for most of the drivers there, because most of the guys are already back into the pits. Is Liam trying to get another lap in? He might just be trying to get a faster lap in at this point, just to see what he can do on these tires and see how much he can actually push through. Alright, so qualifying one officially over there now. I think it's about 2 or 3 drivers probably still running on track, so let's see if they're getting anywhere with their current lap that they're going. 911 moving pretty slow, so I don't think it's going to actually be finishing off this lap, probably going back into the pits here. Actually just going to go across the line and finish either way, so a few drivers to I'm not sure if he's going to be allowed to do another lap there or not. Nope, definitely not. He is over with that there, and Scooby getting into the pits. Mikey and Liam probably finishing off whatever it is they're doing here. I think Mikey just needs to get across the line right now. Might be the only driver left on track actually running, and Scooby getting back into the pits. So I think that's going to be about it, and then the session should come after a close. We can have a look at our Q1 results, and let's see officially who's going to be left out. So far I think it's going to be as it is on the grid there right now, but let's still have a look at our final results as it is and see how that's going to go through. But quite an interesting qualifying one session so far with the lap times that we have. At least I would say in everyone in those 109s. I think it's quite interesting to see 12 drivers in the 109 so far, but I think it's, qualifying 2 might be a little bit more interesting to see how that's going to go, especially with a mix of strategies going on track in terms of everyone just getting their tires sorted for the race strategy. We'll see how they work with that, because we're probably going to put that detail on screen so we can have a look as well. I think we just need to wait for Mikey's car to get into the pits before we get on over to the next session. Okay, so fastest in that session was Tree Slayer at 109.022, extremely close to getting into the 108s. We'll see probably by Q3 might actually accomplish that there. So Rourke took second fastest lap in the session. Irish took third. We got Eaton in fourth, Bradfield fifth. Softer went 6th, Walker in 7th, Race Avocado 8th, Gremlin in 9th, Liam 10th, Mikey 11, Beefy 12, Haywood 13, Jonesy there 14, and Kaz in 15. I think that's it. That's going to be our top 15 going over qualifying 2. Out of that is going to be Scooby there 911. We got Jose, Mr. Rage, and Tang there, who did not get to make any sort of lap time in. Mr. Rage did not make a lap time either. He did not get it to the pits, which I think was a chosen choice for him. So I think that's going to be it. So top 15 going over there. Let's see how qualifying 2 is going to go, as we're just about to get started with that in about the next 3 to 4 seconds here. Okay, so qualifying 2 getting started here right now with our 15 minutes just getting started there. So let's see who's going to be the first to get out on track on this one here. I'm going to pull up some lap data as well. As I'm going to keep it on fitted tires at least for now. So let's see what these guys are planning to come out on track with. So basic idea, guys, as usual with qualifying 2, it's going to be just about they're going to actually be forced to start the race on whatever tires they use in this session to make their fastest lap on. That is, of course, provided they make it over into qualifying 3 into the top 10. So we'll see how that works out. The rest of the grid will have a free choice of tires unless it's going to be a wet start for the race. Then everyone will be have to just start on either the intermediates or the west, depending on how that start goes. But I think it's going to be a dry session, so let's see how everyone works out with that, because we got quite a few cars getting out on track already, and they're getting started with their out laps. I think they're just trying to get a rush on this one. We're just about 3 minutes less than we had in qualifying 1, and 5 cars less, so still not going to be as much of a busy track as it was in Q1, but still these guys need to get the lap time in as much as they can, because they have to just avoid that invalidated lap, because it doesn't happen a lot, as we can see with what happened in qualifying 1. We had a few drivers struggling just a bit to try and get their actual hot laps in and try to get a good lap in as well to make it over to the next session. So let's see how the top 15 are going to make out, because we did have 12 of these guys all being in the 109s during Q1. So let's see what's going to happen with Q2. Of course, this is going to be a bit of a different session here, because it's going to be a bit of mixed strategy in terms of some of these guys are going to be running on the mediums, some are going to be running on the softs, and just to accommodate their race strategy that they're planning for this session as it's going to be. So we'll see how that's going to work out, because this race might end up being about a 2-stop strategy, or let's see if someone's having any way of setting it as being a 1-stop. We'll see how it goes, because right now we got a few cars on the mediums and a few cars on the softs as everyone gets out on track. A few drivers still into the pits, about 5 drivers currently still, or 4 right now. So everyone's starting to get out to be just about 4 drivers left in. That's at least 11 cars on track at the moment. Not overly busy, but still I think there's enough room between everyone for them to get their time in. And we got cars getting started on their hot laps already. So let's follow on with a few drivers as it is. Got Mr. Irish Potato on his lap already. I think he's the first car to get started on a hot lap here. And I know his teammate Bradfield is there in Q2 here as well. So he's on his out lap right now as his teammate is running. Oh, and that's an invalidated lap. Took a bit too much curve on that one there, so that's going to cost him that lap. That's you're going to have to try probably do another lap on the same set of tires, or maybe get into the pits and get a new set of tires on. We'll see how that goes. So Roy here, I think he's about to finish his lap already. Is he getting back into the pits though? Nope, he's going to finish a lap and get across the line. Let's see how fast he goes. 109.125, so very close off of getting into those 108. So let's see how close that's going to be. We got a Renault getting on the track. I think that's Walker getting out there right now. Gremlin goes second fastest in the session, 109.6. Eating with a 110.099. I think he might want to try and get it into the 109s, at least a very low 109, if he does want to make it over to Q3 at this point. And let's see who else currently is running. Let's see, does Irish run another lap? And definitely so he is going to run another lap on these medium tires, and we're going to have to watch to see a comparison between these guys with the lap times in terms of what tires they're doing this on, whether it's the soft or mediums as they get on through. Tree Slayer now goes second fastest in the session with a 109.517, a 10th faster than Gremlin. Mikey into fourth with a 109.928. And Ethan there still with his 110. Savdar goes after him with a 110.2, and then Haywood a 110.3. So a few 110 so far. Of course, we have a few drive. That's Irish almost losing the car, so that's going to cost him the lap there as well. So first attempt was an invalidated lap. Second attempt almost losing the rear of the car, and he's going to have to probably get on a new set of tires to do this again. Let's have a look at his teammate getting around. That's Bradfield, and he's doing this on the mediums as well. So Williams might be trying for a strategy to start this race on medium tires. We'll see how that works. And looks like the Renault guys have a bit of a different idea right now, at least for now, because Walker's out on the mediums and we got Liam out on the soft, so they might be running a bit of a different strategy as it is right now. And let's see, a few more lap times are about to come in, close to about half of the grid have their times in so far. And we're missing a driver in this session for some reason. I think that was because probably someone thing off early in the session. I'm not sure. We'll figure that out a bit later. Why there's only 14 in Q2 right now, which there's supposed to be 15 drivers in. We might have had someone disconnected or left the session. I'm not sure. So that's Bradfield into fourth right now with a 109.829. Not too bad of a time. Going down to Liam right now. He is still finishing off. Now we're getting into sector 3. Not a proper sector 2. So not sure how fast the lap is going for him. But still could be a pretty good lap as he gets around here right now. Let's get on board to see where he finishes. Jonesy on his out lap and a few drivers back into the pits. I think that some of these laps might have gone not as intended, especially for Irish there. So he's back into the pits. He's going to get into a new set of tires, maybe a new set of mediums, or let's see if he's going to come back on the softs and try to get a lap on that. That's Liam right now, 111.3. Didn't go as planned there as well. Walker with a 128.3. So Renault definitely not having a good day here in Q2 as it is right now. Jonesy here out on another lap. Let's see how that lap is currently going for him. It's going on out lap. We're going to get it started on the hot lap pretty soon. And I think a few drivers will start to get... Oh, and Walker gets now a faster lap in. Gets a 109.331. Goes up in the second place in the grid with that lap time. So did 2 laps on those mediums. And that was quite impressive for him to actually do that on the mediums and get so close after Rourke's time. Rourke did that on a soft set of tires, so we'll see how the strategy works. Mikey did his time on softs as well as did Ethan there, and they went into the 109s and 110s. So some of these guys are running some pretty fast laps on those medium tires. Tree Slayer and Gremlin, both the Racing Point drivers, got into P3 and 4 on this grid here so far, and both on the mediums as well. So we're going to try and keep an eye on these strategies as it is at the moment to see what exactly the plan is with these guys in terms of getting their fastest lap. And we'll probably have to switch this over to what they did the best lap on. And let's leave it on that at least for now. So now we can see what exactly is happening. So Gremlin did his lap time on softs, actually not on mediums. So if he doesn't make a faster time on the mediums, he's going to have to start the race on that set of soft tires, regardless of how many laps he does do on the mediums here. That is provided he makes it into Q3, which I think he definitely will with the lap time that he currently has. I see RH has gone on to a new set of mediums. He's back out on track already. Jonesy goes 110.8. Not the best of time. Not really in a good position to make it over to Q3. But we'll see how well it keeps him there. Irish on the next lap. So let's see how his lap is currently going. Got pretty back. Got back pretty fast. Getting a bit cloudy on track for some reason. Or I'm not sure if the sun is just going down. Oh, he's about to get into sector 3, so let's see if he does any purple sector. He does do a purple sector 2 actually on these set of tires that he's running. I don't think he did a purple sector 1, but a purple sector 2 not so bad so far for RHS. He gets it wrong and might actually make it into the top 3 or top 4 with the lap time that he's about to make here, depending on how well it's actually going for him. So he gets around the final turn. See where he goes P6 only with a 109.723, still in a good position of making it over to Q3 as it is, which is really the objective of this session here, and also to just do the lap on the set of tires you do want to start the race on in terms of whatever race strategy you're looking at getting. Beefy on this out lap right now. Let's have a look who else out front is currently running. Is Kremlin on another lap? Now I think he's going back into the pits. Where is Ethan right now? Currently second fastest in the session. I think he just finished a lap at 109.138, just about a hundredth of a second faster, slower than what Rourke did there in P1. He still holds on to that time, 19.125. I'm not sure if he's got back out on track to try and get a faster lap in as yet. We'll see how that goes. Sabda here, probably trying to get a next lap in. Let's have a look at him. Definitely going pretty fast, so might be trying to get a better lap in than what he has there in P9 at 110.1, because I don't think that's going to hold off too well for him to make it over into Q3 as it is, because we still do have Beefy to get a lap in. Liam will try to get a faster lap in as it is there right now, as his teammate is up there in P3 with his lap time 109.3. And let's see if Savdar's lap is going to be any faster than what it is right now. See, Kaz is still in the pit, so he's the only driver right now on track that hasn't made a lap time for this session. So hopefully he gets out and gets a good go at this, because it looks like he plans to do it on the South, but we'll see how well that goes. So South are still holding on to P8 with P8 now back down to P9 because someone went up a position just for a second. I think, let's see, well, no, that was not Beefy. Beefy currently went into 11th with his time at 110.096, which I'm quite sure he's going to try and improve here right now, because I don't think he's going to be settling for being left out of qualifying 3 at this point at the moment here. We got just under 4.5 minutes left in Q2 right now to finish off this session. But so far so good with the qualifying times. We got a lot of 109s. We have not made it into the 108s, which I did expect so far in the session, but I do expect that we might actually make it into that when we do get into qualifying 3. The track is going to get a bit faster as we go on through the rest of the session, and with everyone that's going to be on the soft throughout that session, definitely we're hoping to get some 108s in here. So I don't think this is going to be a finishing lap here for Beefy. Definitely getting back in, and probably going to get back out to try it one more time. We'll see how that goes. Soft Dark getting off track here. What is he trying to do right now? I'm not sure. We got Bradfield on an out lap right now. He's definitely going to try and get a faster lap in before the session comes to an end. Just about 3.5 minutes now, so not really a lot of time left. Beefy already retiring off of the session, so he's not going to be able to get a faster time in, and probably, look, it looks like he's going to be left out of Q3, so he's going to be starting down there probably in 11, depending on how the session finishes off. I think Bradfield definitely going on a fast lap here right now, so looking to get pretty good lap in before the end of qualifying 2. Hopefully for him he's able to do that, because currently in P8 could still get pushed down a little bit further down, as we do have Kaz, Jonesy and Haywood still down at the bottom there. They could probably get out and make a next lap before the session comes off to a close here. Did go just a little bit wide on that, but unfortunately for him, did not invalidate, and that was a proper sector 1, so he's on a pretty good lap so far. Might actually make it well bit up, maybe up into at least top 3 before the session comes to an end. And the sun is coming back out once again, so hopefully that doesn't does improve the track temperature maybe a little bit as it gets to that point again, because it was getting a little bit cloudy as we were getting off to the end of this qualifying. Alright, we got Bradfield about to go across the line. Let's see if he improves from P8, and definitely might. Let's see how that goes. Goes up to P7 only though, with a 109.637, just ahead of his teammate there, Irish there in 8. So a 109.723 from his teammate. It's about a 10th off from each other, not too far off. So both Williams running just about the same place at the moment here. And a few more drivers currently on their out laps, getting back out on track to try and improve their time as much as they can. Haywood as well down there in 12, about to get eliminated out of Q3 if he does not get a faster time in and make it somewhere into the 109s, and really needs to make it at least something better than a 109.8 or 109.7 at least to try and keep this car into the next session. If he's planning to do that, I'm not sure. Otherwise he might be starting right there in 12 as it is right now. I think Jonesy might be on a lap. We'll have to have a look at that in just a bit as well. I think it's about to go across the line actually, and looks like he is on a lap. But doesn't seem like he improved in any way, so we're going to go back over here with Haywood as he gets around. He's going to get started with his next hot lap here right now. Alright, let's see what's happening on the bottom here. So I'm having a look at Kaz's car right now. I think he just came back into the pits. Nope, I'm not sure if is that his car. Nope, that's not his car. That's just someone else's car getting into the garage. I think that's Bradfield's car going in. So Kaz has not come out during this session so far from what I've seen. So I'm not sure if he's going to try to get a quality time in or not before we close off here, because we just get about 10 seconds left. So definitely not enough time for him to even get anywhere around here. Just following on with Liam right now to see how he's finishing off this lap that he's currently on. He's about to get around. I think Haywood about to get across the line there as well. Let's have a look. And definitely so, as he's going to get across, and I think he does not improve. Safdar getting around here as well. Just did a purple sector 1, so let's see if he's on a good lap here or not. But sector 1 a pretty long sector, as we said on this track. Sector 2 not as long. Let's see if sector 2 is going to be purple for him, and probably will be a good indication. And that was a purple sector 2, so let's see how sector 3 is going to go, and maybe he might get it into the top 3 to finish off Q2 here. And see how this goes, because we do have it on the best tires that we're running on, so we'll know at least what the mix of strategies is going to be. So far, Rourke and Eaton holding off P1, P2. And Safdar goes across the line. P3 does make it into the top 3, the 109.303, just about 300 of a second faster than Walker, who's currently P4. So at least we know what's going to happen with that. So I think that's going to be it. Jonesy is probably still running a lap, as qualifying 2 is actually over right now, and he's invalidated that current lap. So that's going to be it for him. So it looks like it's going to be Beefy, Haywood, Jonesy, and Cars out of the next session, and our top 10 will be making it over. I will finally see if I'll actually be able to make it over into a 108 on this track with any of the lap times, because everyone's going to be running on the soft tires coming up for the next session there. And some of these guys have done pretty interesting laps on those mediums. So we'll see how fast they can actually push through the track on the soft tires, because everyone's going to try to get the best possible starting position on the grid for the race start itself, because I don't think they want to be stuck anywhere in the midfield getting through turn 1 there. And the following turn just a bit twitchy getting through that, so a lot of braking and getting back on the power as quickly as they can through this track. So they're going to want to get the best starting position as it is right now. Let's have a look at our qualifying 2 results here before we get on to the next session. Alright, so Roy had the fastest lap in this one for Red Bull, a 109.125, not too bad, with Eaton there in second, had a 109.138, just about 100 of a second time difference. Now, it's actually quite impressive. So Safdar P3, so both Ferrari P2 and 3, not too bad so far in this session. Let's see how they perform in quality 3 though. And Walker goes 4th, Mikey with 5th in the Mercedes, then we got Tree Slayer 6th, Liam 7th, Gremlin 8th, and we got Bradfield 9th, and Irish down there in 10th, barely making it over. Both Williams 9th and 10th, actually both barely making it over into qualifying 3, but they did that lap on medium tires as well. So we got about 4 drivers who are going to be starting the race on mediums, and the other 6 who are going to be starting on soft, at least for the top 10. We'll see how it goes. So Beefy will have to start in 11, because I think he did get off early off in that qualifying 2 session. Alright guys, getting started with qualifying 3 here right now. Only 12 minutes for this session, so really not too much of a longer wait for us to get onto the race start for the 50% race. So let's see how our top 10 drivers are going to work it through this session, and how fast these lap times are about to be, because we do expect these guys to get somewhat into the 108s if possible here. And we're going to put, I don't think we need tires on. Everyone's definitely going to be running on soft tires for this session, and no one's probably going to be running on medium tires. That's going to be a bit of a waste for them, so I don't think they're going to waste time and do that with just about 12 minutes left in the session to work this out. Yep, we already have at least half of the grid getting out on track, about 4 drivers more left to get out here, and I'm quite sure they'll be getting out any minute now, because they really have to watch the amount of time that they do have to get a good lap in. But the worst possible race start they're going to get is 10th on the grid, but making it over into qualifying 3. So actually a good job on each of them for actually making it to this point in the session so far. Let's see who is going to be the first driver. I think Roy might be the first guy who got out on track. So definitely he will be the first to set a lap time in here. And I think just one driver we have. Bradfield is the only guy left in the pit lane there right now. Everyone else is currently out on track trying to get their lap started. Alright, so we got Roy getting around the final turn. He's about to get started on this lap here right now. We'll follow him on board once again to have just one more look at a good lap around Netherlands here for the Dutch Grand Prix. So it's quite an interesting. Oh, and that's kind of what happens if you do lose the rear end getting off turn 1 a bit, which is why there definitely is going to be expected to have a lot of contact through the opening lap of the race. We'll see how that goes. So that's going to be a bad lap for him. He's going to have to try that again. Looks like it might be, who does that, Walker or someone else. Actually, no, I think it's Liam who's gotten out in front. He's going to be the first car now to set the lap in, as that's provided, of course, that he doesn't invalidate the lap that he's currently running on. Everything's going to be on a proper sector for him, being it's no lap time set as yet. So we're just going to ignore that for now and just see how fast he's actually going to go on this grid. Probably might be a 109 for his first attempt at this, I'm not sure. But we do expect to see at least all 109s or maybe a 1 or 2 108s before the end of qualifying 3. Still on 9.5 minutes left to do it. So there could have probably about 3 rounds of laps to post here before the session comes to an end. So quite enough time for them actually to try and get into a 108 if they can, which it might be forced to depending on how fast everyone goes. And let's see, goes across at 109.216, about 2/10 off of what we're looking for here. So let's see, there we go, Walker getting into a 108.576, pretty high into it as well. And Tree Slayer 108.903. So definitely what we wanted to see. Sofdar goes P4 right now, 109.611. Rourke, a very bad lap, as you said, because he did have some trouble getting that lap. True. I think we got Ethan about to go across the line here. Let's see where he goes on this. Not sure if the rest of it has invalidated our laps. Let's see, but so far so good with quali. And yep, he's gonna go across and probably getting into the top. Yeah, they're getting into the top 5, 109.7. I think if they do miss the 108, they're definitely gonna be able to get a 109 at least. And I think Mikey just went across 110.091. And Gremlin went P3 with a 109.207, just behind his teammate, the Tree Slayer, so not too bad so far. Where is Irish on track right now? I think he's now trying to get a lap going. Might have invalidated the previous lap, which is why he's on the next lap here now and going. We'll see how that's working out for him. And his teammate Bradfield there on a lap right now as well. So I think Bradfield is in front of him at the moment. So let's have a look at that, because both of them running, having not the best of luck, I would say, right now, because they barely made it into this session P9 and 10. From qualifying 2. So let's see how they finish up. Just under 8 minutes left now. This timer is going to go out pretty quickly for this qualifying session. I think one of the Williams is getting back into the pits. I'm not sure. That is Bradfield up in the P3 now, splitting the racing points, 109.119. Not too bad at this time so far. And we do have Irish back into the pits. He's going to have to try again. Probably wasn't having a good lap on that go, so did want to get back in and try to see if he can get another lap going again. Alright, so I think right about now we're going to have all of these cars get back into the pits and probably get back out for a second round of lap here, because what's going to happen, they're definitely going to only be fueling those cars to do at least just one hot lap. I don't think they have put enough fuel in to do 2, so they're going to have to just get in, probably get a change of tires and get back out again on a fresh set of softs if needed, and we'll see how that goes for them. But right now we have everybody back into the pits and they're going to get set to get back out. Yeah, I don't think we need tires on there. All definitely going to be doing this on the soft tires as it is. And there we go. I think we still have Bradfield running on track, or is he getting back into the pits here right now? I think he's getting back into the pits here right now. Yep, he's getting back in. So we got a few cars getting back out on out laps already. Royk being one of them. He did a pretty bad lap on his first go at this. A 121.2. Definitely that's not going to settle good anywhere. The best possible start he can get here, that is a 10th place start, but Irish there haven't gotten a lap as yet as well. So let's see how these two are going to get along, because they definitely need to get a lap in before the session comes to an end. 6 minutes left right now, which definitely is not a lot of time to work with, because it does take about just over a minute to get it wrong on an out lap, another minute to get it wrong on a hot lap, so they have to account for all of that time to put into the session to make sure they are able to make a pretty good time in. Walker currently holding on to the provisional pole start for the race at 108.576. And Tree Slayer in second still, about 4/10 off of that time. So he's done a pretty impressive time. I'm not sure how easy that's going to be to beat in this session that we currently have. With the amount of time we have left, we'll see how these guys get through though. But 108.576 is going to be pretty difficult to beat at this point. And we got Roy getting started in his next hot lap here right now. Let's see how this one is going to go for him. Hopefully he's able to make it through. He did have some trouble through Sector 1 on his previous attempt, but so far so good as he's getting through right now. Expecting rain at the end of the race. Okay, well, that's going to provide a little bit of excitement, at least from our perspective here. If there is going to be some rain at the end of the race, that's going to mean a change of strategy in terms of tires as well. So we'll see how the guys are coming for that with whatever tires are going to be starting the race on and when they actually choose to do the pit stops. And of course, if we're expecting a safety car or VSC in the race, that's going to also change things up just a bit. So thanks for the information. So we'll see how that works out. But I think that's going to be a bit tricky to work with for some of these guys, depending on how close to the end of the race that rain is going to start to come, if they're actually going to need to go into the intermediates or not, or they're going to have to push through on the dry tires as it is. But we'll see how it works out, because we did have a few races in the past few days where the rain actually came just down to the end of the race and did cause a bit of confusion, because some drivers chose to actually push through on the dry tires as it is and did have some trouble doing that, lost a few positions. But we'll see how close to the end of the race this rain is actually going to come. But it's going to be interesting with the session as it is in terms of race strategy and how the setups on the cars are going to work to adjust to the rain on track, if that definitely is going to happen. Walker just beat his own lap time, actually. Just went from a 108.5 to a 108.406. So still holds on to provisional pole start for this session. Irish now goes up into second place in the race, gets a lap time in a 108.675, 2/10 off of Walker's time. So going to be interesting with the two of them out front for the start. Prix with a 108.9 still. Let's see if he gets a better lap in. What's currently is running. I know Sabda running, Rourke running. Ethan is just getting started here, but not on a fast lap as it seems. And Rourke did get up a pretty good lap at 109.017, almost into the 108s. That's missed out on that by 100th of a second. Sabda looks like he's on a pretty fast lap. We'll see how that continues on for him. So guys, we got just about 3 minutes left for qualifying 3. Has been an interesting qualifying session from Q1 to Q2, coming all the way down to Q3 so far. So we're just about ready to get started with this race in just a few minutes time. So thanks to everyone who's joined onto the stream so far. And guys, please don't forget to leave a like on the stream when you're joining on here. And remember, if you're new on the channel, make sure you guys subscribe to watch all the other races that we have during the course of a week as well. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the session as it is. I know some viewers do not enjoy the qualifying as much as the race, but it does actually tend to get very interesting sometimes, especially down to the end of qualifying sessions and getting up to the race just to understand exactly how the starting grid got to be formed and what's happening with that. So let's see what's going to happen to the end. Mikey down in 10th right now. Let's see if he's trying to get a faster time in or not before the session comes to an end. Just about 2 minutes 20 seconds left to go, so really not a lot of time, and really starting to get a little bit cloudy again on the track, as you can see. I remember we do have the settings in such a way, guys, that if it does start to get cloudy during a race session, it does mean that track temperature will drop, which means that tire grip is going to be a little bit on the lower side than expected, or than it is usually is. That's a yellow flag in sector 3 for some reason, and someone might have went off the track for a second there, but so far so good. But Walker still holds on to a provisional pole start here. Iris still in second, Tree still in third. I think that's a pretty good top 3 that we have there. They might actually hold on to those lap times going all the way to the next 1 minute 40 seconds and might be starting top 3 on the grid. And we'll see how well that start is going to go, because it's going to be a bit competitive with the 3 of them, especially getting into turn 1. I think with the entire top 10 that we have here, getting into turn 1 is going to be quite a close call. And definitely in the midfield, we're going to have quite a bit of contact between cars. We'll try to catch as much as we can from the overhead camera angle, as much as it allows us getting through around turn 1 at least. And then the next few turns is going to be a bit quick getting through that, so we'll have to leave position changes on so you guys can see who's dropping positions, who's gaining as we get on through. But at least the first lap or 2. Not sure if we're expecting a safety car or VSC on the opening lap, but I do expect we goes. So we're about to get to that in about the next 2 minutes or so, because we're just about less than a minute now off of closing off this qualifying 3 session here. Is Bradfield trying to get another lap in? I'm trying to have a look. So Walker's already retired from the session. I think he's pretty confident with that time that he's made there, a 108.406. Irish on another outlap, so he's trying to improve his time, and he's getting started on the hot lap right now, so he has definitely got across the line in time. Let's see if he's going to be able to improve his time and get on to a P1 start in this race, because just needs about 2 or 3 tenths faster on his lap time just to do that, if he's able to do it. But he needs all 3 sectors to be purple on this one to actually get that lap time up there. And that was not a purple sector 1, so I'm not sure how the next 2 sectors are going to go, but it is still a possibility he could potentially get that car onto a pole position start here. But let's see how the rest of the lap is going through. Maybe he's going to get a purple sector 2, I'm not sure. And it was a purple sector 2, so not a purple sector 1, purple sector 2. But let's see how sector 3 finishes off, because that's going to be a bit dependent on whether he's going to make a faster lap than a 108.675 here. And I see his teammate Bradfield went up into P3 now, and he's going back into the pit, so not the fastest lap as he expected. Slayer trying to get a faster lap in as he got pushed down to P4. He was in 3rd place for the start of the race, but Bradfield, the next Williams driver, got up that position, and he gets across the line, not getting a faster time, unfortunately. Softer here, invalidated lap, so he's not going anywhere with that right now as it is. So I think that's going to be it there for Q3, and that's going to be the way the top 10 might be starting. But we'll have a look at our full starting grid as we go through the formation lap. I'm hoping the formation lap is turned on. I didn't pay attention if that was setting on or not, so hopefully that is turned on, so we can just go through the grid quickly before the actual race start for the all 20 drivers that we have in the session. I think that's it. We're just going to wait for Savdar's car to get fully into the pits before we close off and have a look at our top 10 and then get straight into race session. Who even likes Netherlands? I think some drivers actually do like this track. I know it's not a favorite for a lot of drivers, and so I think the same goes for Vietnam as well, as was the second track that was added on. Alright, so let's see. So Walker got the fastest lap on this one. Looks like he'll be starting P1, along with 2 Williams just behind him there. Irish in 2nd and Bradfield 3rd. Slayer is going to start in 4th. And we got Savdar in the Ferrari in 5th. Rourke in 6th. Eaton starts 7th. Gremlin starts 8th. Liam is going to start 9th. And Mike is going to start there in 10th. His only Mercedes that made it over to Q3. And Eaton seems to think Netherlands is a great track, so he seems like he's going to enjoy this. Starting there in 7th for him, so not too bad of a start as well. It's hard to find the pace around Netherlands sometimes, depending. I'm not sure how Walker's getting into those 108s. But we still got a few of those, so interesting to see how that's going to work out. Alright guys, so it's going to be a 36 lap race around Netherlands for the Dutch Grand Prix. We got our 20 drivers on the grid getting started on the formation lap here right now. As you can see, everyone get through turn 1 pretty well. And there's going to be a lot of weaving going on track. It's just over a minute to get around and just to get those tires up to temperature, make sure everything's good to go. And let's see our starting grid as it is. So Walker starting on pole as we have it. Iris starts 2nd. We got Bradfield starting 3rd. Slayer starting 4th. Savdar starting 5th as we saw from Q3. And Rourke in 6th. Eaton 7th. Gremlin Gremlin 8, Liam in 9th, Mikey in 10th, Beefy has to start there in 11th, Haywood starting 12th, Jonesy starts 13th, Kaz is going to start in 14th, Scooby there starting 15th, we got Utah's 911 starting 16th, Jose starts 17th, Mr. Rage starting in 18th, Tank starting 19th, and Racer Avocado is going to start down there in 20th on the grid. So quite an interesting grid to work with, and we'll see how well everyone's going to get in through. With 36 lap, I think definitely there'll be at least maybe 1 or 2 safety cars in this race with a full grid around a tight track as this, such as this. But we'll see how these guys can keep it on track getting through the opening lap, which is what I'm hoping to see if there's going to be a safety car or not at any point here. But it's looking pretty good in terms of the qualifying times that we had. I think it might be very competitive with the top 10 though getting through that opening lap. So let's see how well that's going to go. Alright, so we got everyone about to start reforming back on the grid. Very exciting to see a full grid of 20 drivers. I think there was just about 17 checked in when I checked, maybe I think earlier this morning, I think. Or was that yesterday evening? I'm not even sure. But either way, good to see 20 cars on the grid. I think we got Razor Avocado about to get into his slot there right now and about to get started. Let's get a few stats up on screen, and we're going to leave telemetry off for now. I just put on position changes and keep it at that at this point, and we're gonna keep an eye. That leaderboard might definitely get mixed up before the race even gets started, so just ignore that for now. We're gonna keep on Irish's car here and have a look and see how well he gets away with Walker here. I think they got away both pretty well, but Walker seems to have got a bit of a better start as he gets through. And Irish seems to be in some trouble right now with the Racing Point getting around him, and his teammate Bradfield coming around there as well. We can have a look at everyone as they get through the first lap, first corner, and seems to be pretty well through that one there. I didn't see any incident as we got on through. Both Williams running just behind each other, but Tree Slayer getting up in the second position at the start. He's got up quite a good start actually as he got by Irish pretty quickly. And so far so good. Software and Rock right there where they started on the grid. Bradfield running just behind his teammates. He's still trying to get that position up, but I don't know if they're going to be racing each other for Williams or not. But maybe trying to keep it as and Ethan all the way down to 9th. He's lost about 2 positions on the start of this race so far. I see Gremlin and Liam got up a position there. I think those were the 2 cars that went ahead of him on the start as we had it. Mikey right there where he started. Jonesy about 11th, 2 positions down. Haywood still there in 12th. And we got a virtual safety car. Something's happening down at the back. BP is out of the race. I think definitely he might have had contact with someone to cause that to happen. I'm not sure. Unfortunate for him, but that's going to be him out. We're not going to be able to see his car as we get around, so we'll think the safety car should be getting no virtual safety car, sorry. So just going to be on for just about half a lap, and we're going to get back racing in just a bit. Let's get tires on track so you guys can see what's happening with that. And we're going to put telemetry on because DRS should be online pretty soon, but we're only in lap 2. Let's just ignore what's happening with the leaderboard for the moment. It's not on lap 3 as yet. I don't know why it says that right now. As it's showing Irish in lead as well. So currently it is Walker leading the race. I think he's trying to get a bit of a gap going as well. So we're following on Tree Slayer right now with Williams coming just behind him. Let's see how that battle is going on for him right now. I think both Williams we have coming behind Tree Slayer right now. So Sobdar behind that as well. We're going to have our Delta times being shown back on leaderboard in just a bit as well. And see what's happening with that. Let's have a look. And the rest of the grid here as much as we can. So Sobdar seems to be in some trouble right now. The work catching up very quickly to him. I'm trying to use the map as much as I can here right now until I get the Delta times back online. I think we're getting a bit bunched up down at the back here, so let's have a look what's happening here. Haywood right now having 2 cars I think fighting just behind him. I think that's Scooby and Racer Avocado. Let's have a look at them. And Racer Avocado looking to get by on the inside of Scooby's car right now, but he's going to use a slipstream as much as he can. But does get a good run into turn 1, so he's going to get that position up quite easily. And let's see if he's actually able to hold it. And does get away pretty well. Of course, he'll be coming back on the inside, but I don't think he's going to be able to take the position back right away. He's going to have to hold it there for now. Now, Delta Times are back up against that, as you can see where the battles are on track here right now. And let's have a look at Jonesy here, getting very close after Mikey is trying to chase him down for P10 as it is. But a very close gap, not so easy to work with on this track. Very difficult to get an overtake done unless it's around that down that pit straight that we have. Other portions on track are going to be a little bit difficult to actually get it unless you get a really good gap to work with. But so far so good from the race start. We only lost one driver on it so far. I'm trying to have a look, see what's happening out front here. Out in front, we got Walker still leading, but getting a gap going against Tree Slayer by 1.2 seconds. And he's trying to increase it as much as he can. Irish and Bradfield, both Williams are running behind Tree Slayer right now, all both within a second of each other. So pretty close gap to work with. Roy here still getting very close up as he can to the Ferrari or Savdar in front of him. And we got Irish currently with the fastest lap at 112.4 as we get on through with lap 4 here right now. So DRS advantage is available right now to anyone who is within a second. Let's see what's happening out front of Tree Slayer and Irish are fighting it out for second place in the race, and Tree Slayer takes it back as Irish is still going side by side and still trying to get that position. He takes around the outside and might not be able to get it and hold it, but does get back onto the racing line, and the racing point is going to be stuck down in P3 behind, loses back the position. And let's see if he's able to get it back, because on board right now we're going with Tree Slayer. Of course, Bradfield there, the next Williams is coming behind him, so he does need to be a bit worried about that as well, because that's a pretty close gap. So Safdar and Roy also catching up. So a bit of a train going on, at least from second place going on down. Walker trying to get the best of lead that he can out front with these guys fighting down behind for positions here. So we got a racing point of Tree Slayer stuck between two Williams at the moment, and really not a good place for him to be. But let's see how well he's going to continue on trying to get a position ahead, or if Bradfield is going to be able to get by. I'm not sure as yet. But we got Savdar catching up to Bradfield very quickly here as we get around the final turn, about to go into lap 5 there, I think. Yep, we are. And he's having a pretty good run getting down the straight. He's going to take it on the outside of turn 1 and might actually get this position up. Let's see how it goes, because the Williams might try to take it back. Oh, a bit of contact between them. I don't think anyone took any damage, but that puts Safdar Dunk back into P5. All now under pressure from Roy coming behind in the Red Bull. He's going to try and get ahead, because Safdar did lose about 2/10 with that bit of collision that they had there. And I can see Ethan getting very close after Mikey there for P8 as well. Let's see if he's able to continue catching up. Tree Slayer getting a very closer gap as he continues chasing down Irish and using his DRS advantage as much as he can. Irish, of course, not having that DRS advantage. Get a gap to walk out front is about 1.8 seconds. So he needs to catch up as much as he can. But Walker somehow running in the clean air. He's having a bit of an advantage out front as well, trying to keep his car way ahead. And with these cars fighting it out behind, he's trying to just build a gap as much as he can. Going back to Roy here, see if he's catching up as much as it is. Right now, Racer Avocado trying to get by and get by with Jonesy here. But of course, with Haywood, his teammate just behind the fit. Let's see how that battle is progressing on through, because I'm not sure if they're racing each other or not. But he seems to be fighting it with Jonesy out in front in 10th to get up in the 10th position right now. We got Liam down in the back, and UTS 911 switching off positions as well. I think they had a bit of contact there as well as it gets on through, but Liam gets past Jose as well, gets up into 16th right now, so that's 2 positions up for him, and he's trying to fight his way back out to the front of the grid as much as he can right now, on fresh mediums and running at this point. I think the pit stop that he did, which is what took him down at the back. Jonesy here with Scooby, his teammate, just behind him, trying to fight Haywood for 11th position on the grid at the moment. And we're going back out in front with Tree Slayer, who's really trying to get up that position. I think Roy and Savdar have switched positions here. Yep, definitely Roy has gotten ahead of the Ferrari up into P5, and he's going to chase after Bradfield. Let's see how well that battle is going to continue on. I'm trying to keep an eye on Tree Slayer right now. Still following after Irish. They're trying to get up in the second place in the race, both on a podium position, but still want to fight for that better position to get a little bit more points in for the team. At least his teammates, Gremlin, is down there in 7th. He has a gap of about 1.1 seconds to stop there, so really not in the DRS zone to have that advantage, as does Tree Slayer here right now. He's going to have a pretty good run going down the pit straight, and Irish doesn't have any overtake to use, but still able to keep that car ahead and not leave a gap open for Tree Slayer to get by. So still, this battle might be continuing for quite a while in the race. We're already on lap 7 of 36 and going through. And we got Bradfield having a close gap with Roy down at the back there as well. So really, both Williams in a bit of a battle trying to fight for positions as it is. Irish trying to keep his position, and we got Bradfield trying to get a position back up as much as he can. There's a Roy trying to work his way through the field right now. He got past Savda, got past Bradfield, and up into 4th place in the race. Let's see how much longer he's going to be able to hold that in. But it seems to be going pretty well for him so far. And actually working. We got Irish out front. He's catching up to Walker, who's in the lead of the race here right now. I'm not sure if Walker made any sort of mistake or not, but he's lost a bit of time, at least over a second and a half, and is within DRS range right now with Irish here. So let's see if the DRS advantage is going to help in any way, as Irish is trying to save up some ERS he used for overtake. Of course, Treasley following him just behind, so it's going to be quite a bit of close battle between Walker, Irish, Treasley, and Roy for the lead of the race as we get up to that point here right now, going into lap 8 here now, I think. Yes, it is. And a very close gap with the Williams and Renault out front for the lead. Let's see who's going to actually take this, because in a few laps time we might see a switch happen with Walker and Irish, depending on how close Irish is able to get at this point. And hopefully they're actually able to avoid any damage. So far just one virtual safety car in this race so far. That was the incident with Beefy getting out early in the race. I think that was right on lap 1. I'm still going to continue following on here, right? We got a close battle with Racer Africa and Ethan down there in 9th as well. But we're going to keep an eye here, see what's happening with our top 3, because it's getting quite close between them. And this might actually end up ending either pretty badly or pretty well for someone here. I'm not sure how that's going to go as yet. Hey Scott, thanks for joining the chat. I think Walker is trying to get a bit of a gap started back again. He gained about a 10th or 2 there, but I think Irish might be catching up back and getting that going again. Of course, Irish does have Treasley within about quarter of a second behind, so he needs to be a bit worried about that as well, as he's trying to get by Walker. But I'm not sure where his focus is right now, but he's going to have the DRS advantage going down the pit straight as well, as is Treasley and Roy all coming behind. So let's see how that's working. He's going to get pretty close, but I don't think it's going to be close enough to get an overtake done on Walker unless he tries to take it on the inside, but not enough of a gap to work with. He's going to have to continue on. And someone is off track right now in Sector 2. I'm not sure whose car that is at the moment. Seems to be a Haas. Might be UTS 911, probably off track there. And what he's getting back going there right now. Yep, I think definitely was him. We got Gremlin into the pits there right now, getting a change of tires. We're going to see if pit stop strategy is going to change anything with these guys out front. Of course, Roy here on the soft tires is going to have to pit maybe a little bit earlier than the top 3 cars on the mediums as we have it. But we'll see how the strategy goes on 36th lap in this race. It might be a 2-stopper for most of these cars. Well, for probably all of these cars, unless they're planning to do some sort of 1-stop strategy to go to the end. I'm not sure about that as yet. But 36 laps, we'll see how it goes for them. I got Racer Africa. They're getting a very close gap down there in 9th place behind Eaton. Want to have a look to see how that battle is progressing on through, because it looks like he might have a good run on him when they get down to the pit straight. So Ethan under a lot of pressure here right now. He's trying to keep up with the Mikey as much as he can, but really he's definitely has to worry about Racer Avocado coming behind. Of course, Haywood there coming another few seconds behind as well. So I think he's going to be a little bit more worried here right now, because someone's in the pit. That's Mikey. He's going to gain the position and probably lose it back here right now as Racer Avocado goes side by side with him into turn 1. And the Ferrari goes a little bit wide there. Ethan tries to get back on track, but loses the position, of course, and has to take it down to 8th place right now and continue on with that. He's going to continue trying to fight it back for the position, but let's see if that's going to work. Tang here getting into 10th right now in this race, running on those hard tires as it is. And let's see how that start is going for him, because right now chasing after Haywood here in 9th. And even though he's on the slower tire here, he might still be able to get that overtake done, because he's keeping up pretty well with Haywood's car, and he's getting a pretty close gap as we continue to race on through. So let's have a look overhead and see how that's working out for him, because Haywood definitely under a lot of pressure here right now to keep 9th position in the race. And of course we have Jonesy coming just behind with another half a second gap. He's going to really try to be getting ahead as well. But top 4 cars on the mediums as we have it. Then the next 4 on the softs. We'll see how the pit stop strategy works with them, because the 4 on the softs will probably have to pit a bit sooner than those top 4 running on the mediums. As I think the 4 of them are watching on each other to see who's going to do a pit stop first, as we're about to get into lap 11. They get into there right now, and we're still following on what's happening up front. Irish getting a pretty close gap on Walker here, trying to get by, but really doesn't have much of a gap to work with. But unless he's able to push it through on the inside, which he's really not right now because he doesn't want to risk losing the car. If that does happen, he will lose out second place to Tree Slayer just behind of him. They've gained some time with Bradfield now down in fourth, about 2.6 seconds behind. So just about top three fighting it off for the lead of the race as we have it. But Tree Slayer trying to keep us a little bit back as it is. I think he's just allowing these two to fight it off in front to see who's going to be keeping the lead of the race. As it is right now, Walker still holds on to the lead from the start up to this point for 11 laps so far. Irish still holds on to second as it is, and Tree Slayer still following them in third. A bit of a switch earlier on in the race though between Irish and Tree Slayer, so that might happen again. We'll see how it goes. But so far so good with our drivers as we have them. Still 19 drivers in the race on lap 11 and getting through. A bit of a yellow flag somewhere. I think someone's in there. That's cars into the pits there right now. I think he's getting back out. And DRS advantage. I think we have both. Nope. I thought they were going into the pits, but they're not. Walker about to lose the lead here if he's not careful, because Irish trying to take it around the outside, but a longer way around to go. And does get it pretty well, but not able to get the overtake done. But a pretty good try on that one there. Walker was able to actually just keep his lead somehow, and doesn't have any DRS advantage with no car in front of him. Tree Slayer is still able to keep himself just about half a second behind Irish right now. So let's see how they get on through, because this is going to continue all the way to the pit stops right now, and they might, all three of them might actually be doing a pit stop at the exact same time, because I think they're going to follow each other into the pits as it is. I think they might just be waiting on Walker to make that move, but we'll see when that does happen, because I see Tang is up to P7 right now. Roy and Racer Avocado still on those softs, and we're trying to see when they're going to actually do their pit stops. We got penalties starting to come out on drivers here right now, as well as track limits are starting to be exceeded just a bit as they're pushing just a little bit too hard to try to keep their positions as it is right now. Gremlin there in 11 trying to catch up to Mr. Rage for P10, and he's getting a pretty good go at that. We're trying to see if the gap is going to go under 0.2 of a second to have a look at it. And here goes Irish again, has that DRS advantage once again. And I think he really is trying to follow Walker. If Walker does do a pit stop, he might be doing a pit stop as well. Trying to take it on the inside, but really not close enough to actually get that done. And he's trying to keep it like just about on the same line, just to try and keep the advantage that he has here right now. And Tree Slayer is trying to lose a few tenths to Irish's car right now. So let's see how that's going. He's getting it back as he gets on through certain portions of this track. And we got a few more pit stops happening down in the back there as well. See what's happening down with Ethan, and we got Ethan and Gremlin here fighting it out for that position as the car is coming out to the pit lane at the same time. And I think that was probably Racer Avocado getting out. And he's going to be just behind that battle as they continue on through. Ethan is still trying to get by, of course, with Mr. Ray just out in front of Gremlin. So quite about at least 4 cars we got fighting it out for 8th position here right now. Still trying to keep an eye out front between race leader Walker and Irish and Tree Slayer there for the lead of the race to see what's happening with them. That racing point just went a little bit wide there. That was a Gremlin, but still kept the position alive. And Ethan's go gain about a tenth or two, I think, on him there as he's getting a bit closer. Still not a gap to get by as yet, but he's really trying to push around. Both on the medium tires, with Mr. Rage out in front. I think he's on the hards and going through. So a bit on slower tires, but let's see how that works out. Racer Avocado on the fresh hard, so he just came out to the pits just behind this battle, and he's going to continue following on through us. Out in front, we got Irish getting very close up behind Walker once again. Still not able to get by as yet. It's very difficult to get this overtake done, and this might actually continue all the way to the end of the race. We'll see how it goes for them, but so far so good between Walker and Irish. They've kept it very clean. Tree Slayer in that as well. Bradfield really trying to catch back up. That's Irish's teammate, but he's still falling back just a bit, about 3.5 seconds behind the battle with the 3 of them out in front for the lead of the race here right now. Quite surprising, actually, no contact between these 3 cars so far as we have it in this race, as they've still been fighting for positions though. But a really good attempt earlier on by Irish trying to get that position up out into P1, but I don't think Walker is going to allow it to go that easily. He's still pushing on through as much as he can down there. I think Gremlin and Ethan still fighting through for that position along with Mr. Rage, and I think Racer Avocado in that as well, as Gremlin is about to get by. Let's see what's happening here. If there was any contact, I'm not sure, but Ethan's taken 9th position away, and now Gremlin is fighting it off with Racer Avocado trying to keep his position as much as he can. Oh, and a bit of contact. Both cars having a lot of contact, and that's about 3 cars involved in it. 2 cars out of the race. That's Liam. Oh, all 3 of them are out actually. So Gremlin, Liam, and Racer Avocado, all 3 drivers out of it, and that's going to be a full safety car for that incident. I'm not sure who was at fault exactly with that one. We'll definitely have to look back at that afterwards to see what happened. That's definitely going to be reported to the stewards for someone being at fault with that there. That's going to be putting the battle between Irish Tree Slayer and Walker just on a pause for a bit, and we see Walker into the pits. He went onto the soft tires, and let's see if he's going to push all the way to the end of the race on that. Of course, Irish and Tree Slayer out right now. Irish now leads the race. Is Irish going to take a pit stop though, as we're under a safety car and going through? I'm not sure how that's going to work. Let's see how many pit stops are going to happen. Definitely, you're going to have a few cars getting into the pits, but of course, they have to keep their delta positive under the safety car and avoid any extra speeding unless they want to actually take a penalty or drive-through penalty at this point. So let's see what's going to happen if Irish is going to do a pit stop here or not, because if Irish does a pit stop, I think Tree Slayer might do one as well. So unfortunately, a bit of an incident, drivers fighting it just a little bit too much, and 3 drivers all out at the exact same time. That was a bit chaotic with the 3 of them getting all out in the session at the same time, but unfortunate for that. So 16 drivers still remain to go to the end of the race. We're on lap 15 right now, and we do have Irish and Tree Slayer both getting into the pits at the same time. We might have Bradfield do a pit stop here as well. Let's see who gets out in front. I don't think either of them have any damage on the cars, which is going to be good on their end. So Walker takes back the lead of the race here right now as he gets around. So he gets by the pit lane exit, takes back the lead of the race. Irish goes back into second. Tree Slayer takes back third, and Bradfield back into fourth, as it was there before. You might be right about that, Scott. I'm not sure, but the stewards will deal with that at the end of the race, so we don't really have to worry too much about it. But does happen sometimes if you don't realize a car is next to you. Does cause incidents to happen. Remember, they're driving pretty fast around this track and pushing as much as they can. So if they do, one car does lose it, and these cars are so close off together that incidents like that do tend to happen sometimes. So we still have a few more pit stops that are going to happen there. So we got Walker, Irish, Tree Slayer, and Bradfield on new tires right now, all on the softs. So will they actually be able to push those tires to the end of the race? Because we still got about 20 laps more to go, which I don't think they'll be able to push on those. And why is Haywood on intermediates right now? I'm not sure if this is a graphic fault on our end, or if he's actually on the intermediate tires as it is. But he's definitely showing he's on intermediate tires. There's no rain falling as yet. The guys did say there's supposed to be some rain down at the end of this race, but I don't see any rain coming in play as yet, so I'm not sure why he's on intermediates right now. That might be a bit of a mistake. I'm not sure if he meant to do that or not. Probably got onto those by accident, so he's probably going to have to do an extra pit stop to get off of them. So following on right now with Walker, I guess behind the safety cars we go, probably the second lap under the safety cars. We have it here right now. But what's going to happen is going to be quite an interesting restart, because everyone's going to be bunched up back once again just behind each other when we get the safety car going into the pits. So we'll see how well the restart goes on this one. But I'm trying to have a look if Haywood is getting back into the pits to get off those intermediate tires there, because it's not raining at this point. I'm not sure if the rain is about to start to come pretty soon, if that's why he's taking an early stop. I'm hoping after the safety car goes in it's going to start to rain, but I don't see any rain as yet. It is getting a bit cloudy on the track in the sky as we can see it, but I definitely don't see any rain coming around as yet here. I think if it's going to rain down at the end of the race, it might start maybe somewhere between lap 25 and lap 30. That rain might actually start. We'll see how it goes. I definitely don't see any rain at this point that we have it here. And Walker gets a penalty. What penalty? I'm hoping he didn't get a drive-through penalty there. Let's have a look at that very quickly. And that's a 5-second penalty he acquired for some reason. I'm not sure why. I don't want to go to the race director as yet to check that out. But a 5-second penalty for Walker, 5-second penalty for Jonesy's, 3 seconds for Scooby, and 5 seconds for Jose so far. They're going to have to deal with that. So if they do another pit stop, they'll be able to serve that 5-second penalty in the pits and get rid of it before the end of the race. But unfortunately, that's going to set Walker back a little bit if he does have to do another pit stop and get rid of that 5-second penalty. So it's getting quite cloudy on track right now. See what's happening here with Haywood. So he's keeping on to the intermediates right now. I don't know if he knows something that we don't, but for some reason he's kept onto the intermediate tires and he's going to continue on with them. So let's have a look what's happening out front here right now. Is the safety car going back in on this lap? And looks like it is, because I don't see it here right now. So it looks like we're about to get back racing here because the safety car went away. I just didn't notice if we had that graphic on screen down at the bottom about the safety car going in, but looks like we're about to get back racing here right now. So let's see how it's going to go between Irish and Walker out front. Irish getting a pretty good go on him, but not close enough to actually get an overtake down into turn one, but he's getting pretty close. And we're going to try and keep an eye on the rest of the grid as they get on through. That's a pretty close gap between them. Let's have a look at the rest of it. I think everyone's going to get on through pretty well with after that restart there. And that's a 5-second penalty for Scooby for speeding in the pit lane as it is there right now. Roy Tang and a few cars down in the midfield here getting a pretty close up. Jonesy as well getting pretty close to Mr. Rage as they continue racing on through. Let's see how Haywood is getting on with these intermediate tires as it is. I don't think that's going to work too well for him on the track as it is because there's absolutely no water on track here right now. Tang here getting pretty close to Roy. Let's have a look how that battle is going through. Jose, that's a back marker down in the back. And Scooby back into the pits there right now. Let's see what's happening with that. And I'm really interested to see when this rain is going to start to come, because right now we're on the halfway point of this race on lap 18 and continuing on through. Let's have a look out front. Walker already starting to get a bit of a gap formed with Irish just behind of him. Getting out to a second already before we have DRS back online. So I think he's trying to keep Irish out of the DRS advantage as much as he can. Three Slayers is still within a second of Irish's car going through. And a few more penalties I think handed out in the race so far. We still got Haywood running in 12, so I'm not sure if there's a graphic mistake on screen or that's some sort of glitch happening, but from my end it's showing he's on intermediate tires and he's running at a pretty decent pace so far in the race. So Irish has kept this gap under a second between him and Walker. He's really trying to push as much as he can to keep it there. They're all on the soft tires and going. Walker switched on the previous lap to the soft tires, and that was just before the safety car happened there with the incident between Kremlin, Liam and Racer Avocado. So we'll see how that plays out later on. Having a look at Tang down at the back here, getting pretty close off. So let's see if he's able to get by car in front of him, which is Jonesy there, but still a pretty close gap to actually get that going. We're gonna get back out front here with Tree Slayer still chasing after Irish at the moment, and Walker's still doing a pretty good job of trying to keep the gap over a second, but Irish trying to push it back as much as he can, still trying to bring it back under on lap 19 right now and going through. And I think if it's going to rain down at the end of the session, that might actually explain a lot why some of these drivers chose to go onto the soft tires, which means that if they're going to be on the area of it, DRS is back online right now, at least for now, until maybe if it starts raining, then it's probably going to go back offline. But we'll have that online once again after that safety car has gone in. Let's see how much of an advantage that's going to be to the cars running within a second of each other right now. So I think, as I was saying, I think some of these cars went onto the soft tires because I think the strategy plan is that if it's going to rain down at the end, they're going to go into the soft tires right now and push as much as they can on those tires. By the time the rain starts to come down and they're ready to switch onto the inters, they're going to be able to get straight onto that rather than just do onto mediums or maybe go onto hards to try and go to the end of the race when they might have to just do another switch and go onto intermediate tires. But we'll see how it works, because right now Haywood still running in 12, but he's lost a lot of time right now to the car in front of him. He was about 5 point something seconds away from the car in front. He's now 19 seconds, and I think I see spots of rain starting to come in here right now. And I think it's very, very light. Yep, definitely we have it there. Spots of rain starting to come on lap 20 here right now. Of course, it's not going to be ready for intermediate tires at this point as well, but is he really going to be pushing this car all the way to the end of the race from this point with that set of intermediate tires? I'm not sure, because he's going to be overheating those tires a bit right now as pushing on through on a dry track, because absolutely no water on the track for those tires at this place as yet. We're going to get back out front and follow on with our top three as it is. Irish trying to keep his gap as close as he can. Tree Slayer still able to keep his gap under a second. They do have that DRS advantage available to them right now to use if they are within a second of the car in front when they get through the detection point. Of course, this might be changing pretty soon if the rain starts to come down any much more. And it's starting to come down a little more, but let's see how fast the rain is going to start to come, because that's going to change the entire race strategy up for these drivers just a bit. And I think that's what our top four drivers were planning on. Also, Ethan, Jonesy, and Mr. Rage here went onto the soft tires as well, and I think they're all planning on the same strategy: just run on the soft tires and push as much as they can in the race, and then go straight onto the intermediates to go to the end when the rain does come, because they do know how much percentage of rain they're expecting here, and probably around what lap they're going to be getting the rain. So as we said, if the rain is coming down at the end of the race, we said at the start it might happen somewhere between lap 25 and 30 to go onto the intermediate tires. And it looks like that might be the actual situation here right now, because by the time we get to lap 25, we might have DRS go offline. And we're going to be ready for intermediate tires, maybe between lap 25, 27, or 28. We'll see how well it goes, but it's looking to be right around that point where it's going to start to rain a bit heavily on track. These dry tires are no longer going to be sufficient to keep these cars stable enough to continue racing with them. And if race control does turn off DRS, then definitely it's going to tell us that it's time for these guys to get onto intermediate tires to continue the race. But we'll see how it goes. We got two drivers onto inters right now. We got Tang going on the intermediate tires as well. I don't think that was the best of call for him right now. Let's see how well it's going, because he's having some trouble even keeping that car perfectly well on the straight as he goes through. Let's see how he goes through turn 1 on board or watching. And he's having some serious problems braking with that car. A few more drivers getting onto the intermediate tires right now. I still think it's a lap or two early for that, but we're going to follow on with our race leaders here for the time being. So still a few more drivers are getting onto the intermediate tires. I still think it's a bit early for that. They might have some probably would have wanted to wait until at least lap 24, 25 at most before going onto the intermediates here, but let's see how it works out for them, because they're going to have some trouble braking into most of these corners, and they'll have to take it a bit easy until the rain starts to come down just a bit more, because out front we can see these cars are still having pretty much good grip on those soft tires as they continue on through the drives. And it's still a pretty close gap between our top three right now. Let's see if the track temperature as it's dropping is going to affect them as they're pushing on through, because all three of them are going to be pushing at just around the same pace as it is here right now. A few more drivers still switching onto those intermediate tires, but top half of the grid are all still running on the dry tires as it is. But the rain is starting to come just a bit more, as we can see here right now. Track is still not getting wet as yet. Okay, so on lap 23 here right now as we continue to race on through. So let's see if at any point DRS is going to go offline. So far so good. It's still, the drizzle is still coming in a little more heavy than usual, but I don't think the rain is coming down as fast as expected. So I don't think we're going to be ready to go on to intermediates until maybe lap 25, 26, but we'll see how it goes. So we still got a few more drivers getting into the pits right now. Are they getting off those intermediate tires? I'm not sure. Or are they getting on? I'm not sure what's happening on the back there. We'll keep an eye on that there right now. So it looks like cars is going on to mediums as it is there right now. Now, I think the important factor, as we said at the start of this race, was to determine what race strategy to actually run with the race as it is, because with the rain, they know the rain is going to be at the end of the race. They have to account for how many laps they're potentially going to have to do at the end of the race on intermediates if they have to go on them. But I don't think it was ready for those intermediate tires as yet, because if you do go back down to those guys on the inters, they're probably having a lot of trouble driving on them right now. I think that's the McLaren of Tang. We just saw these guys get through there. He is having some trouble keeping that car stable as he gets on through. Let's have a look down at the bottom right now with Tang here and see how he's getting on track. You can see he's not going as fast as expected here, and he does have to brake a lot earlier just to keep this car going around the track, and he's definitely having a lot of trouble with that. So we get back up right now. We got Scooby getting into the pits. We'll see if he's going to be going on to the inters as well. It's getting close after that turn, but just not there right now. As we can see, race leaders are continuing to race on the dry tires as it is. They're not going to do a pit stop as yet. DRS is still online and still active for them to use. And they're now starting to have some trouble apparently, as Irish is about to lose a second place in the race to Tree Slayer there. And Tree Slayer does get up into second place, so Irish is down to third. He might starting to feel a bit of on the tires in terms of losing temperature here right now. So, and Haywood is out of the race, unfortunately. I think he might have retired. Does he retire in the pits? Nope. That's a safety car. He's out on the pit straight, actually. Just before the entrance of the pit lane is where he's gone out. I'm not sure if we'll be able to see what's happened to his car there. But maybe if someone gets around there in time, we might be able to see what's happened there. I think Softar is about to go around there, so let's have a look. I think this safety car might provide a good opportunity for drivers who are trying to get onto the intermediate tires. They might want to think about doing it now if they're going to do it. And by the time the safety car gets to an end, we might have enough water on track for these. And there is his car there right now. That car went straight into the barriers down the side. Let's see what's going to happen to our race leaders here, if they're going to do a pit stop or not to get onto intermediate tires, because track is going to start to get some water right about now. So it might just be time to get onto intermediate tires as it is right now. I think this safety car is providing a very good opportunity for them to do that at this point, and that looks like that's what's happening here right now. Let's have a look. We got Walker serving his 5-second penalty, so that's going to cost him a little bit in the race. It's going to cost him positions, as now everyone is about to get onto the intermediate tires, which is just about the right time. As you said, lap 25, 26 would be just about the time to get onto the intermediates, and that's what they're all doing at this point here right now. They're still going to struggle for grip just on the first lap or two as they get back out on track here right now. Of course, but they're following under the safety car, so that's going to help out everyone currently getting onto the intermediates. They're going to have enough time to get the tires up to temperature before they actually get back to racing. So we're on lap 26 of 36 right now. They're going to have to go to the end of the race on the intermediate tires on this one set that they have, and that's going to be at least 8 laps of racing by the time the safety car goes in. So I think quite enough time for them to get those tires up to temperature following under the safety car right now. So they're just going to be probably going to start to do a lot of weaving in just a bit to get that going there. And Tang going back to the soft tires. He's made a switch on that for some reason, and I'm not sure why he's made that switch, because it's now the right time to get onto the intermediates. We still have Softar and UTES 911. They still have to get onto the intermediates there as well. We'll see how they choose to do that in just a bit. We still got a few drivers with penalties on track there as we have it right now as well. And as the grid changes up, because Walker had to serve that 5-second penalty and Tree Slayer got past Irish before the safety car happened, Tree Slayer is now taking over the lead of the race. Irish running in second and Walker running in third. And then Bradfield takes 4th, Rourke in 5th, Eaton in 6th, Mikey 7th, Mr. Rage 8th, Jonesy in 9th, Softar 10th. This is after the top 10 that we have so far. And so far for driver standings, as it is for the Wednesday division, we got Tree Slayer leading the Drivers' Championship right now with 131 points. And he's currently leading this race and looking to finish here in P1. So that's going to be much more points for him to finish and continue leading the championship with. Walker currently running in second in the championship right now with 124 points. That's about 7 points different between the two of them. And Walker now lost the lead, is down to third. So that's going to cost him a few points here right now. Liam running in third in the championship. We got Clark in 4th. We got Corey 5th, Mikey currently 6th, Beefy in 7th, Bradfield down to 8th in the championship, Tang in 9th, and Mr. Rage in 10th as it is. Irish currently holding on to 11th with 30 points, Eaton in 12th right now, Maddie currently 13, Rourke in 14, we got Jose in 15th, we got Ross in 16th, and we got Q Foreman currently 17. And as it goes down for the let's see, the Constructors Championship as we have it, we got Renault leading that with 227 points, and currently Walker in third on that. He's running for Renault, so let's see how much points he's going to get for the team for that one there. Racing Point in second right now, 223 points. It's a 4-point difference for that. And currently we got, I think, would we have one Racing Point running in this race right now, or is it both out? No, actually, sorry, it's one out. Tree Slayer is the next Racing Point running, and he's going to be getting quite a lot of points in. So between him and Walker there in P3, because Liam, the next Renault driver, is out as well. That's going to be changing things up in terms of maybe the Constructors' Championship between Renault and Racing Point. Currently, Renault in first place with 227 points, but 4 points behind is Racing Point right now in second. And we're going to be looking at to see how much points these guys are going to get in terms of if they finish as it is right now. We'll see how that works out by the time we get to next week, Wednesday. Williams currently third in the championship with 82 points as it is. And we got Irish running in second to get a bunch of points for that. And his teammate, where is Bradfield? Bradfield down in fourth. So Williams is going to get quite a few points in this race as well. Of course, quite a way back behind Racing Point and Renault in terms of the championship as they have it. McLaren currently fourth, 72 points. Alfa Romeo in fifth with 66. Mercedes currently 6th with 60 points, and Haas there 7th with 58. Ferrari down to 8th with 24 points. Red Bull only 2 points in 9th, and AlphaTauri currently only 1 point so far as it is. But we do have Jonesy there in 9th right now to get some point for the team. Let's see how it does finish up. They're currently on lap 28 under the safety car still going through. Hopefully we have the safety car going pretty soon so we can get back to racing. And let's see how these guys are going to get on through on the intermediate tires as we have a good look on board right now. Definitely going to be up to the correct conditions for the intermediate tires by the time that safety car goes in, as we can see here. So quite a bit of change up. Let's have a look actually at the grids of this change it from the start of this race. Who gained the most position? So it looks like Mr. Rage gained the most positions in the race so far. He's running up into 8. He started down there in 18th, I think it was 18th or 19th, somewhere around there is where he started on the grid. So he's looking pretty good again, driver of the day. If he does finish right there where he is right now. Having a look at penalties as it is. 3-second penalties he does have though. So he's going to have to be a bit careful with that. Sopta with a 5-second penalty. And Scooby with an 8-second. We got Jose with 3 seconds as well. He's quite a way behind though. About 2 minutes behind. A safety car is going to be in on this lap. So we're about to get back racing here. Let's keep this on tires as it is. And we know that everyone's currently running on the intermediate tires. But we're still going to keep it on as we continue to race on through with this race as it is. There at the moment. Also guys, please don't forget, I'm reminding you guys again, please don't forget to leave a like on the stream as we have it there right now. And remember guys, if you're new around the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. Alright, so we're about to get around the final turn, and that's another 5-second penalty for Mikey. So quite a few collisions down at the back of the grid, I think, before we're about to get back started here. So let's have a look. Walker getting a pretty good row of Irish as they get through to turn 1. It's going to be a bit chaotic because with conditions as they are, and Irish and Treasley are fighting it out in front for the lead. Walker getting out in that as well, and both Irish and Treasley went wide. Walker takes back the lead of the race and put Bradfield up into second. Now gets back down to the third. His teammate gets by and gets her back into second place. Of course, Treasley all the way down to fourth. He was in the lead to get back started with this race. Unfortunate, he's down to fifth right now. Eaton has gotten past him as well. Bradfield still chasing after his teammate with Eaton running in fourth. He's looking to get up a position on both of the Williams if he can. Treasley are running just behind. I think he's gotten himself back up to racing speed right now. I don't know if he has any damage. I don't see any damage on that front wing, but they seems to be going pretty well so far. But unfortunately, both of them did go a bit wide, him and Irish. Unfortunately for him, he was not able to get back his position. Irish got up to second, and Walker took quite a bit of good advantage of that and got back into the lead of the race. So some good points there for Renault if he does finish in P1. Of course, he still does have a penalty. I think he took a 3-second penalty for track limits. I'm not sure what it was. We'll have a look at that in just a bit. But still, Walker running in the lead. Irish took back second. Bradford running third. And a bit of a gap starting to form between our top three as we have it. Eaton still though within a second of Bradford, and does have three Slayer to deal with just behind of him. So having a look at that. Roy coming just behind there in sixth as well. So still about another half a second away, I think, behind. So I don't think he's too worried about that, but he has to be a little bit worried about Tree Slayer here, who's looking to get a position up, and he's going to take, he's going to have to just take on the racing line for now through turn 1 as they go. Roy though catching up as much as he can, trying to keep that gap going. And we got Tree Slayer trying to take it around the side, taking around, oh, and push, and we have Eaton going off track a bit, losing that position, losing 2 positions here right now. So he's going side by side with Roy to try and just keep that position alive, not to lose 2 positions here right now. But the Red Bull is going to get by up into 5th place. That's Eaton down to 6th now, loses 2 positions there. Mikey out of the race, causes another safety car. I'm not sure where he went off. With conditions already as they are on track right now, going to be difficult as well. Let's have a look, see if we can have a look where his car is. I have no idea where Mikey's car went off right now. I think his car might have been disappeared off the track already, because I'm really not seeing any car anywhere on the map there as well. Anyway, I think that's gone, but that's going to be another safety. That's our 3rd safety car in the race so far. And we're on lap 30 of 36 and going, and still running in wet conditions as it is. So we're going to have to finish this race with the rain that we have it here going. And it's starting to get a little bit more worse as it is, but I don't think it will get too bad for us to need to go on to the full wet tires. It just should be able to finish under the with the intermediate tires as it is right now. We'll see how it goes though, because it's actually getting pretty wet on track. So I'm not sure if these tires are going to be able to hold up all the way to the end of lap 36. Does depend on how much grip these guys are actually getting on it. But let's see if anyone is going to be doing a switch to go onto the wets. So the safety car is going to actually provide a good opportunity for everyone to catch back up to the car in front of them before we're ready to get back racing, which should be around lap 30, maybe by the end of lap 32. We're hoping to get back racing here. Let's see how that's going to go, because we're still trying to follow behind the safety car as it is out front. Walker leading everyone behind with that, and they're going to try to keep the tires up to temperature as much as they can during that safety car queue, because they don't want to be losing that temperature and just having cold tires to get back to racing here, especially with the conditions as it is on track. These tires do do need to stay at a certain temperature. And that's 911 getting a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car, which you're not supposed to do. So that's going to cost him a bit in the race. And where is he right now? He is currently running 11th. That's probably going to put him down. I think, Jose is about 3 minutes behind. So I think that's more than enough time for him to do that drive-through penalty and still come back in 11th place in the race. And why is Walker racing the safety car right now? I think he just had a bit of collision, almost a bit of collision with the safety car. Now let's have back a look at penalties as they are here. Oh, and that's a drive-through penalty for Irish, which he has to serve after the safety car. You're not allowed to serve any drive-through penalties during a safety car or a virtual safety car, so he's going to have to do it after the safety car. That's going to cost him 2nd place in the race. He's probably going to fall quite a way down, actually, with serving that drive-through. So 2 drivers so far with drive-through penalties. We do have Walker with a 5-second penalty, Bradfield with a 5-second penalty, and Tree Slayer and Eaton there. The only 2 drivers on the track right now with no penalties on their record here for this race, at least. We'll see how that works out, but not looking too good for Irish there with that drive-through penalty that he does have. It's going to cost him quite a lot of points, especially for both the Drivers' Championship and the Constructors for the team, as well as we have it there. So his teammate Bradfield there, running in 3rd, should be able to move up into 2nd place once he is going into the pits to serve that drive-through penalty. But of course, we're going to see if Bradfield is able to hold it off in 2nd place to go all the way to the end of lap 36 and probably keep that amount of points. Should be able to do that quite comfortably. Just about 4 laps more to go. That should be just about 6 or 7 minutes more of racing left in the session here. But of course, we do have to have that safety car go in. So I'm hoping that safety car is about to go in at the end of this lap here. So we'll get back racing on lap 33 and have a full 4 laps of racing left in the session. So let's keep this on here. And it seems as though Kaz, down at the back there in 13, has gone on to the full wet tires. I'm not sure how well that's going to work for him here. Let's see. Is the track actually ready for this or not? The track is actually pretty wet, so it might be at that point. But that's going to be a bit dependent on the drivers here right now, whether they're going to choose to actually do this or they're going to push through to the end of the race on the intermediate tires that they're currently on. We'll see how that works out because no one else has made an option to go in and switch over to the wet tires as it is. But of course, if they do make a pit stop right now, it's going to cost them positions. So it's going to have to be the entire rear pitting for those tires as it is. But let's see how that works out, because I'm quite sure our guys out front are definitely not going to want to take a pit stop at this point, and safety car is about to come in on this lap, so that just makes it a bit worse in terms of them taking a stop right about now. So they're going to everyone's going to continue on the intermediate tires they're currently running, and let's see if Kaz is able to catch up to Jose at least to get that position up if he can. It's about 12 seconds behind. Trying to catch back up right now. Safety car is going into the pits there right now. We're going to have a restart just about to happen. So Walker and Irish here. Of course, Irish does have that drive-through penalty to serve. I don't know if he's going to serve it on this lap or maybe on the next one. He's going to continue racing here right now. And let's see what's going to happen between him and we got Trees there coming in the mix down at the back, trying to get up that position there as well. And he gets it wrong, but that Red Bull is coming with work just behind. Bradfield is there as well. Walker gets down to second. Irish takes over the lead of the race. Unfortunately, though, that drive-through penalty is going to set him back at the end of this lap, maybe, or when he does choose to do that drive-through penalty. We'll see how it works. But Tree Slayer up into 3rd place in the race right now, just behind Walker. And he's going to continue chasing him down. Bradfield, the next Williams, running in P4. Eaton still running there in P5. We'll see how that works out between them, because they're trying to follow on right now with the Ferrari of Eaton to see if he's getting by Bradfield or not. Out front, I'm trying to keep an eye to see what's happening between Tree Slayer and Walker there, because that's a pretty close gap. Irish trying to get a gap going on Walker, 1.3 seconds so far, so he's doing pretty well with that. Conditions are starting to get a little bit worse on track here right now. Eaton trying to get a little bit off the racing line, probably to get some more water on those tires to displace off to more, maybe get some more grip if he can. Not sure how that's working out for him. Down in the back, we got Work trying to get past Mr. Rage, and as they're going side by side for it, But Warwick has the inside, and Mr. Rage we're trying to push on the inside on the next turn and might get the position up. Actually does get it, and Safdar coming very close up behind as well. So he's trying to get an overtake done as much as he can. Of course, we're going to be a bit slow on track right now because of the conditions that we do have with the drivers getting through. We are following on with Tree Slayer here right now, going down the pit straight behind Walker at 1.5 seconds right now is the gap between Irish and Walker. I think he's going to try to pull off a gap if he can and then do that drive-through penalty, but it's still going to cost him a few positions in the race before we get off to the end, because currently on lap 34 right now we're going, he only has 3 laps to actually serve that drive-through penalty or face being disqualified from the race, but we're not actually doing it. So we'll see how it works out. But so far so good here with Walker keeping off in second place, and if he does know by checking in on his MFD, he's going to know that Irish has that drive-through penalty, and he will know that he'll be getting back the lead of the race. Of course, the rain coming down pretty hard right now and getting to the point where he might need to go on to the full wet tires, but I don't think these guys are going to want to do a pit stop. They're going to just push on through and try to keep the car as stable as they can to get to the end of lap 36, seeing that we're already on lap 34, getting around to the end of that. So just about another 2.5 laps left to go. They're definitely going to be pushing as much as they can on these tires to get on through to the end. Let's have a look at Kaz here, see if he's catching up, and he is catching up on those wet tires here right now. So they're working pretty well for him, as Scooby goes a bit wide on that occasion there. And let's get back out front. 2 seconds right now is a gap between Irish and Walker. He's driving pretty well in the wet for some reason, trying to get a gap on Walker here. And let's see how much of a gap he's able to get before serving that drive-through penalty, because I think he might have to do it on the next lap. Might be his last chance to actually do it there, and he's in the pits right now doing that drive-through penalty. So let's see how much positions he's about to lose as he's about to get back out in just a bit, and he's gonna fall quite a way down on the grid with that penalty. So let's get back out front. So Walker takes over back the lead of the race here right now. Since he's doing that, that puts Tree Slayer back into second place. Dratfield now running in third. So the one Williams is going to be scoring enough points. Irish just coming back in ninth though. Still going to get some points after this race is over here. And he doesn't have any penalties right now. So maybe that might help him get a position up or two, depending on how much penalties the other drivers do have. So let's switch on over to penalties as it is. And we do see 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds for the 3 drivers in front of him. That might actually help him a position or two up when we do get across the line. So we'll see how it works. So Tree Slayer, though not having any penalty, this is going to cost Walker the race win here, because he's going to finish on the podium but not getting P1. He is going to go across the line P1, but Tree Slayer is by default going to end up getting first place in the race. Walker's going to have to go down to second because of that 5-second penalty. Bradfield will be losing out on a podium position to Eaton, who's going to get onto the podium in third place, and Bradfield going down to 4 because of his 5-second penalty as well there. And I think it's going to be a switch between Mr. Rage and Rourke as well, as we're about to enter into the final lap for the Dutch Grand Prix right now. And even if Tree Slayer is not able to get by, which he might not, he's still gonna get P1 in the race. So let's see, have a look and see how the final lap for them goes, as trying to have a look at how the penalties are gonna work out. So Mr. Rage and Work there, looks like they're gonna have a switch because of the amount of penalties that they have. And then we have Safdar there, does have a 5-second penalty. He's going to finish right there in 7. Jones is going to finish there in 8. But of course, Irish is going to be taking away 8 position away from him because of his 5-second penalty. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to get up a position on Safdar as well. He might actually be able to do that. As Tree Slayer is he's still fighting Walker for that position. It looks like he got up the position up into the lead and puts Walker back down into second now. But let's see if Walker is able to get it back. It's still a pretty close gap on the very final lap, and Walker gets it back into P1. No penalty though for Tree Slayer. He's still fighting on through. Both of them are still going side by side on this. And I hope for Tree Slayer's sake he doesn't get a penalty trying to battle him through for that position, because that's going to cost him a little bit if that does happen here. But both of them doing pretty well, I would say, so far, fighting for that lead, and still no damage on either car as they continue to race on through for that position. We'll see how the rest of the grid finishes, as I'm going to finish this race pretty soon, getting around the final turn here right now. And let's get on board with Tree Slayer. Let's see if he's able to get by Walker for the lead, and doesn't have enough of a gap to go alongside him, as Walker does squeeze him off a bit. So that is Tree Slayer finishing P1 still, even though he goes across the line in P2, takes second place for Walker, and Eaton is going to take third. Bradfield takes fourth. Rourke takes fifth. Safdar takes quite a switch actually. Bradfield takes fourth. Irish goes all the way up into fifth. Rourke takes sixth. Safdar takes 7. Mr. Rage takes 8. Jonesy takes 9 so far. And we got Scooby finishing 10th. Jose finishes 12th. 9-1 should finish there in 11th. And looks like Cause will finish there in 13th on the grid as he gets around the final turn here right now. So quite an interesting finish, at least for our top two. Tree Slayer almost got that position done. I think if he had a little bit more room on the left side, he might have actually gotten to get across the line in P1, but still got P1 either way from Walker there. And still, unfortunately though, both Williams out of the podium because of Irie getting a drive-through penalty and Bradfield getting that 5-second penalty. I think we're just waiting for one more driver to get across the line. Where is he on the grid? Oh, he's getting around the final turn here right now. That's UTS 911. So he goes across the line. He's going to take 11th position. And that's going to be it there right now. Let's see who got driver of the day. I think Mr. Rage was supposed to be the guy to get driver of the day on this one. But let's see if he does actually get it. And yep, he does get driver of the day. He did gain the most positions in the race and got a lot of overtakes done on that one there. So a pretty good finish for him. An interesting battle out front for the race lead throughout the entire race, I would say, with our top few drivers that we had there. All right, let's have one final look at the results before we get off the session. That's going to be a lot more points for Racing Point for the constructors there. All right, so there we have it. So Tree Slayer takes P1 in the race. Walker takes second, unfortunately. Ethan has to actually take third. Bradfield goes down to fourth. Irish, unfortunately, takes fifth after the drive-through penalty. Roy takes sixth. Salvador takes seven. Mr. Ray takes eight. And driver of the day, Jonesy takes ninth. We got Scooby taking 10th, UTS 911, he takes 11th. We got Jose taking 12th, Cos takes 13, Mikey takes 14, Tank takes 15, and the fastest lap in this race, even though he did not finish. Haywood takes 16, Gremlin takes 17, Liam there in 18, and Racer Avocado 19, Beefy 20th, unfortunately. So quite a few drivers out of the race, but still quite an exciting race as we got through that, and I think a lot of drivers are quite happy that the Dutch Grand Prix is over with and we're heading on to our next race next week. So thank you everyone for joining on with the session, and remember guys, please do leave a like on the video before you go, and remember if you're new on the channel, make sure you guys subscribe. And don't forget, we have a lot of races coming on during the course of the week. No racing tomorrow, unfortunately. It's going to be until Friday for the next two streams that we have coming up, so join us then again for that.